Good evening, everyone. It's with deep gratitude and joy that I welcome you to this year's annual business meeting. I'd like to thank you all for taking time out of your hectic schedules to attend this meeting tonight. And as I look at the list of participants on the side panel, I can see colleagues and collaborators, mentors and friends, and I'm reminded of the unique and beautiful community that we've built in SOAP. So this is more than just a professional society. This is a shared mission, a shared passion, and for many of us, a second family. At the heart of everything we do is profound commitment to improve the health and outcomes of mothers and babies everywhere. This mission drives our clinical work, our teaching, our research, and our advocacy. And this community, which is you, are the ones who bring this mission to life every day. Our work's not easy, but it's essential. And our collective voices as obstetric anesthesiologists has never been more important. Every mother deserves a safe birth. Every baby deserves a healthy start. Every member of our profession deserves to grow, to lead, and to be supported. So that's why this year we're reaffirming some of our core goals. Our goal is to meet the evolving needs of our members, no matter where you are in your journey, to provide cutting-edge education that elevates our practice and prepares us for the future, to foster professional development that empowers the next generation of leaders, to promote innovative research that advances our field and answers the most pressing questions in maternal care, and to actively engage our membership. We've really worked on this year to ensure a sustainable pipeline of passionate, diverse, and inclusive leaders. The future of SOAP is very strong, but only because of the strength of our members. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for your service, your science, and your spirit. It is truly an honor to serve as president and to walk this path together. It's my belief, with heart, with purpose, and with unwavering resolve, that together we can make a difference and move the needle in maternal mortality and morbidity. It's been so meaningful to be part of SOAP's growth and evolution. In this vein, in March, our board of directors met in Chicago for a 2-day session to create some strategic goals for SOAP for the next 1 to 5 years. Our group is evaluating our educational activities, including how we organize the annual meeting. We're aligning our committee terms for a seamless transition and improved committee function. And we're continuing to develop our patient-centered education materials and increasing our fundraising to ensure the ability to continue to fund the groundbreaking research that our society does. Overall, we're rethinking how we focus our efforts to better serve our members and our patients. And tonight we have a lot to share with you. Our committee chairs, which are really the stars of this evening, will update you on the interim activities of their working groups, what they've done, what they're planning, and the next steps for SOAP. So I want to thank you again for your time. I know that time is precious resource. We're looking forward to seeing you very soon at the annual meeting. And if you haven't registered, please do, and take a look at our annual meeting website. There's a bunch of activities this year and new sessions that you should really be aware of. Thank you. I'm going to hand it off. One last thing, sorry about that. I wanted to make sure that we recognize 2 of our members who are departing the board this year. We have May Pan Smith, who is the immediate past president, so she'll be rotating off. And then we have Ashraf Habib, who's our research committee chair and has served us well for the last 3 years. So we want to thank them for their service and everything they've done for our society.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited to share with you the annual meeting and live events update. So I'm Rebecca Meinhardt, the committee chair. So as you can see by all of these titles, there is so much for everyone in the annual meeting. And this year it's in Portland, Oregon. If you don't already know, you should. And you should please register. We're really excited about things. There are lots of new offerings, as Dr. Nixon said. We have the new international meetup. So attendees from around the globe can have a time to network with each other. We have CRNA and AA meetups. The SOAP Committee Showcase, where you can learn more about the committees and what their work is and how to get more involved. We have state reps meetings, the Mentoring Academy reception, medical and student and resident and fellows meetups, and then our SIGs. And finally, what I'd really like to highlight is this Party with a Purpose, in addition to the research symposium and our international symposium for China. So the party with a purpose, if you can go to the next slide, Melissa. Um, the party with a purpose is really exciting. It's going to be held on Friday, May 2nd. It's a ticketed event. And so this is going to be a showcased effort of all of the offerings that Portland has. And not only is it going to be a night of revelry and fun, but it's also going to be lots of networking. And there's an online auction that you do not have to pay for as far as a ticket goes. It's open to everyone. But the ticketed event is going to be really fun, and we'll learn who wins what at the event. There is on the online auction, there's an alumni showdown I just want to highlight. So those of us with a competitive streak can see which student alumni networks have the most bragging rights as fundraiser champions. And so all of the proceeds will go to the SOAP Endowment Fund to help, again, fuel all of these innovations and all of our good science and research and clinical activities. Next slide. Okay, so our attendance for this year numbers 645 as of April 9th. And we have the bulk of people are from the United States, not surprisingly, but there's a good showing from Canada. And next slide. We have 14 other countries listed as well, so represented. So this, again, is going to be exciting to have the international meetup. We're really grateful that everybody is making the effort to go globally and come here to Portland, to the United States, to participate in the meeting. So our virtual highlights are there for those of you who can't make the meeting in person. And we're excited to say that this is going to be adjusted to be more hopefully conducive to people joining. So we've changed the times from a weekend to the weekdays, and we have adjusted the times for Pacific attendees. So this might be a little bit easier to make. We have included this in your annual meeting registration. So again, this is a nice offering. If you, for example, if you have an event scheduled during one of our sessions and you miss that you'd like to see later, you could join the meeting virtual highlights and catch it then. It also allows us to serve a wider audience, again, because we want to be the voice of maternal health and newborn health. This helps us share globally for those who cannot travel. And last but not least, I'd like to share with you the location of the 2026 annual meeting. It's going to be in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. So really excited to invite you there. I hope to see you this year in Portland. I really hope to see you next year in Montreal. I think it's going to be a fantastic meeting, both places. So please come. And finally, I want to thank my committees. Phil Rubin, who's the vice chair, Tiffany Angelo, Tom Klumpner, Amy Lee, Pervez Sultan, and Brandon Togioka are part of the steering committee. The lifeblood of the committee is really in its subcommittees as well. So locations and logistics, which is spearheaded by Phil Rubin, annual curricular planning, which is spearheaded by Holly Endy, CME, Regina Fragnetto, sponsors and industry is Brandon Togioka, and finally inter-society planning, Jen Hoyek is helping with that, and I can't thank them enough. They're just amazing people. So thank you so much.
All right. Good evening, everybody. My name's Mahesh Nathan. I'm the treasurer of SOAP. I also am the chair of the finance committee, so I'll be giving you a quick report here. You can go on to the next slide. So this first slide is just kind of showing where our funds are at the moment. Most people may not be aware, but we have two funds. We have SOAP, which runs our operations, and then the endowment fund. The endowment fund is what funds a lot of our research efforts, and the educational side, the research side is SOAP. The other fund is our operational budget, which manages the annual meeting and anything else that we attempt to spend money on. As Dr. Minor mentioned earlier, we're doing the fundraising event, which will be raising additional funds for the endowment. As we grow the endowment, that allows us to reach out and do more things like we do currently. And I'm sure that we'll talk about those efforts here later in specifics. But for right now, just know that we do spend our money. And even though these accounts are growing, which you can see here, we are spending it for the benefit of both our membership and the future of obstetric anesthesia. Next slide. So one of the things that I'm forced to do is to tell you about how our funds are doing in relation to the stock market. Over the in 2023 and 2024, I was glad to say that we were doing well. This year, we are also technically doing well. I'm sure many of you are aware that the stock market is not in its ideal state. And just like your 401ks or any other investments that you have, things have taken a dip. But what I like to do is draw your attention there to that bottom line where though year to date we are -4, almost 5%. The S&P 500 is down significantly more. And the reason that we are down less is because we take a very conservative position in the market with our money. Our intent is not to make millions of dollars with investments. It's primarily to protect the funds that we've raised over many years of efforts, and when they do shrink, to shrink as little as possible, but to grow at a reasonable rate. You can see our average growth rate over the last 4 or 5 years has been around 11%. And I imagine when I give this presentation next year, the number next to the 2025 should be a little bit better than a -4 or -5%. Next slide. This is probably a more interesting and critical slide here that I think it's easier to draw attention to. I think I'll start by pointing your line of sight that those green bars of growth, and to that line, the bottom line there next to the green box that says SOAP. As you can see, over the last 5 years, our total fund has grown by almost a little over $2 million. And that's our operating budget. So what does that mean? That means that not only has our annual meeting team done an amazing job of putting on an amazing meeting that brings in people who want to learn more about what we do, and want to be better, and want to take better care of our patients. We've been able to do it in a fiscally responsible way where we're not spending more than we're bringing in for the effort. That, in addition to some friendly growth in the market, and a very conservative management team, AMR, that has done a great job of limiting our downside and our costs significantly. If anyone ever wants to really dive into it, I'm happy to point at specific line items. But all that to say that we've done a very good job of being fiscally conservative and also improving the products that we provide to our membership, which has resulted in growth in our operating budget. The last thing I'll draw your attention to before I believe I'm done. I think this is my last slide, hopefully. Stop boring you. The last thing I have one more. Can you go back one slide though? Melissa, thanks. The line I'll draw your attention to is that endowment fund line. As you can see, its growth has been not as strong, and relatively stagnant. And the reason that is that we derive income into that account from our membership and from donations and from fundraising. It is not an operational budget. It is a budget it is a fund that we are asked to and do consistently use to support research. So we are traditionally yearly drawing down on that budget, drawing down on those funds with growth from the economy, but with the intent that we can reach out to the people that are benefiting from that growth, from those spending, from that effort, that research effort, and everything else, and encourage fundraising, encourage donations, and encourage raising of funds into our budget so that we can help more people do more research and help more patients. Next slide. And then lastly, this kind of points to what I was mentioning before. As you can see, the annual meeting is a significant portion of our revenue for SOAP. Centers of Excellence has been a consistent and beneficial supporter of our budget, and I think one of the things that we look forward to doing is growing that opportunity. That is definitely something that's been a benefit to our budget. And as you can see, our membership consistently has grown and supports our operating budget. But again, I think that the clear important thing of this slide is how much of the annual budget and how much of it comes from our growth comes from our annual meeting. So whatever you can do to support its being put on as well as its patronage, I would encourage that. All right. I'd like to thank the members of my finance committee, and of course, I believe the fundraising subcommittee is going to present on their own here, so you'll meet them. But I started off with one person on my committee, and now I have significant support and help, and I look forward to hopefully sooner rather than later handing this off to one of my teammates here in the future as we grow. It looks like there's a question. Are we doing questions now or later? I'm happy to answer whatever.
A question. This is Dr. Whistler. Um, First of all, nice report and interesting slides. I was just curious, why is the meeting so much more expensive in the last 3 years?
Well, there's many good answers to that. I think the one I hate saying out loud, but is likely probably the biggest piece is inflation. If you're asking about the cost of the meeting being put on, then that's primarily the reason. Many of our contractors and the hotels and everybody else have passed on a significant amount of that increase in their expenses onto us, the consumer, which we then have to pass on, obviously. If you're asking about what we are charging for our members to come to the meeting, if that may be a slightly different question, but I'm happy to answer that as well. That has to do with the fact that we were significantly undercharging our membership, and we still do technically compared to other organizations our size and to the value associated with the meeting that we put on. But we are slowly increasing that charge to be part of the meeting, to actually come into line more with the other institutions around the country that are similar in size and function.
No, I wasn't asking about the charges to the members. I was talking about, you had that slide where the last 3 years are 3 big orange columns on there for the expense of the meeting. And I
Sure.
see
Do you
what,
want to go back to that
Heather
slide? I
wrote.
can.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, there. The I'm not complaining. I'm just noticing. I mean,
Yeah.
if that was in
So
a paper, we'd be noticing that, right?
sure.
So, and Heather said that there were pass-alongs, but we have contracts with the hotels, right? So how can they just stuff a bunch of extra costs on us?
Right. I think people are answering for me in the chat there, but we didn't have meetings in 20 and 21. Well, we did in 21, it was virtual. And so due to
Okay.
to the pandemic, and that's why the cost is significantly changed there. If we were to go back to 2019, you would see that large orange bar as well. However, that you will notice that the cost of that has increased. I will point to the fact that compared between 2022 and 2024, we've made some significant changes in the way that we budget and prepare, and so you can see that that our return on that investment of the meeting has been significant.
Okay. I'm not upset. You guys run nice meetings. You're doing a great job running the society. It's not a criticism. It just stuck out of the slide and I want to ask the question. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's a good eye. Yeah, it's totally agree. Any other questions or pass it on to Dr. Lee?
Thank you. Hi, I'm Allison Lee. I am the chair of the Diversity Inclusivity Committee. We have had a busy year that has gone by. One of our leading activities is to ask for submissions for our Diversity and Inclusivity Mentored Grant. We offer 2 grants of $5,000 each per year. And last year's awardees were Dr. Sotia and Sultan at Stanford and Drs. Reddy and Piran Vincent at Mount Sinai. We also we give one Diversity Inclusivity Award per year. Last year, this went to Dr. Cesar Padilla, also at Stanford. We have been busily creating a number of educational resources. Please check them out on the SOAP website, the Diversity and Inclusivity webpage. Some of our more recent content is related to the care of LGBTQ+ patients. And our community outreach at an annual meeting has been a really joyful experience. Next slide. So in 2024, we went to a high school, Northfield High School in Denver, And we do have another visit planned for 2025 in Portland at Central Catholic High School, thanks to Dr. Nakia Nibs and our local SOAP members. Dr. Brandon Togioka has been very instrumental in helping to facilitate that. And if you're interested in getting involved and joining us to visit these high school, please do let me know. Next slide. One of our exciting projects, which is sort of slowly coming to fruition, is what we call our Hello World project. These are modules, so and videos and written materials in different languages. We came up with a series of about 10 to 11 common phrases, just how to introduce yourself to a patient. Just saying like, allow me to get an interpreter. And we thought this was a great way to connect with patients, not taking the place of interpreters, but showing that we're making an effort. And it was really a wonderful activity. We were able to bring in SOAP members with speak languages ranging from Russian to Mandarin, French, and so we're very excited about that. And if you go to the SOAP DNI webpage, you will see the early greetings. One is, for example, from Ned Nasser, who has contributed content in Arabic. Next slide. I'd like to thank the members of our committee, very passionate and very dedicated, Dr. James Damron, Dr. Jennifer Dominguez, Dr. Nakia Nibs, Michelle Simon, Kokila Thenwara, Melanie Stanislaus, and Dr. Paloma Toledo. And they are the leaders of our subcommittees, which are the Pathway Programs and Mentorship, Health Equity and Community and Patient Engagement, and DEI Education.
Thanks, Dr. Lee. I am David Stahl. I am the chair of the Education Committee. Excited to present our progress through the year and thank my incredible committee for all of their hard work, as well as our subcommittee members. So this year, I think at the top of our list was to start the implementation of the SOAP app, which is known as C8. If you haven't gotten a chance to download it, please take a look, and we'll have some more information on how to download it and content heading into the annual meeting. We've developed several infographics by the patient safety and patient education committees. We've done the COPUS seminars to practice point of care ultrasound training. We continue to produce and now cross-publish the SIM Mom of the Month program at Open Anesthesia and other places. And then we are launching a patient-facing website, which is a new move for SOAP. It is going to be called thepainlesspush.com. You can see the early beginnings of it there now, but as we move through the year, we'll have some new content and a big push to be able to share this with your patients, with your OBs, and with your friends. We think it's really going to be an incredible source of accurate, reliable information for our patients. As part of that, Dr. Lee participated in the Painless Push podcast, which you can check out that episode. And then we've started to refresh some of the educational content on the SOAP website, as well as a new effort to organize the website, which I'm not going to talk about today. Our upcoming activities, please keep an eye out for our next journal club. We just had one in March. Our next COPUS session is April 24th from 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern, talking about ultrasound and its role in obstetric anesthesia. And then wanted to highlight the upcoming workshop at the annual meeting on educational skills for the busy clinician. That will be on the Wednesday preceding the meeting from 1 to 5 Pacific. And then we are also working with Glenn Woodworth, regional anesthesiologist, on a collaboration with the National Precision Education Project to try to push some of our best SOAP content to learners as they're going through training about OB anesthesia. I want to thank all of our committee members as well as our subcommittee members. So Wasim Athar and Clemens Ortner on clinical resources, Kokila Thinwara and Jessica Sheeran for SIM and technology, Michaela Farber for all of her work on trainee curriculum, as well as being the vice chair of the committee, our Allison Lee, Shashank Shutter, and Stephanie Woodward for the patient education work and the new website, Nicole Higgins for sharing patient safety, Jennifer Benayan, Josh Younger, and Jennifer Gage for working on the OB, MFM, and Midwife subcommittee, and then Joy Shable for all of her work on the Education Awards Task Force. Thanks, everybody.
Hi, everybody. I am Rich Month. I am the SOAP Secretary and Chair of the Governance Committee. Whereas a lot of what you're going to hear tonight and a lot of what you have heard tonight talks a lot about who we are and what we're doing and why we're doing it. The Governance Committee is the policy nerds that look inwardly and really take a look at how we're doing it and how we can do it better as a society and as a functional organization. So as such, the governance committee makes sure that we are administering our policies and procedures consistently and correctly and adequately, as well as reviews and make sure we're implementing our bylaws correctly. We also oversee making sure we have committees and subcommittees filled, as well as review the both slates of both nominated and elected officers from year to year. So it's very much a work of looking inward and making sure that we are as efficient and effective an organization as we possibly can be. A lot of what we were doing this year was looking at the committee appointment structure, and we're going to be rolling out some changes to that in the very near future. Normally, there would have been a call for committee interest at this point in the year, but you'll be hearing more about that very soon. In an effort to both ensure that we're getting new and diverse voices on all of our committees and subcommittees, and really building our bench, so to speak, of new leaders as we continue to grow SOAP to advance our goals and efforts. Getting into the nitty-gritty details would probably take us another hour or two or three. A number of us on the committee could talk about the bylaws and policies and procedures for hours on end. That's why we end up on that committee. But suffice it to say that we do constantly review SOAP governance, make sure that we have good governance in SOAP, and actively look for areas in which we can improve how we oversee SOAP and its projects. Next slide. So we do have two subcommittees, the bylaws and nominating subcommittees. Bylaws is exactly that. We review the bylaws on a yearly basis and then review any possible bylaws changes. The nominating subcommittee reviews the applications for nominated and elected office to make sure that we are meeting that all candidates meet the requirements both in practice and in spirit for leading our society into the future. And thankfully, I don't have to do this alone. I am very thankful for my entire committee who is incredibly thoughtful and incredibly intelligent. Neil, Allison, Ro, May, and Ted could not have done this without you this year, and I'm looking forward to continuing on next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Month. I'm Jeanette Beauchamp. I'm the chair of the Inter-Society Committee this year. Our committee centers around being sort of the interface with other women's health organizations. That includes joint statements as well as SOAP statements. This year, we've been working on sort of better developing a scaffolding for SOAP statements and inter-society statements, just so that we can have a smoother process and hopefully streamline and get more guidelines and statements out there, which was something that membership asked for in the past. And so our goal is to kind of prioritize and invite SOAP members to write statements in the coming years. We do seek member input for SOAP statements, or we would like to. So we've put in, you'll see a needs assessment from during the SOAP meeting that I think Dr. Rosenstein will speak about. Our SOAP member value chair will speak about. Make sure you fill it out, because that's going to be one way that my committee will know what statements you might be interested in us writing for you. We're also doing some clarification on the kinds of works and publications that we're going to endorse and support, with different levels of support, kind of depending on how involved SOAP is. If you have ideas for or if you want SOAP endorsement or support, please contact our committee as soon as possible, contact SOAP as soon as possible, so that we can be there from the start and let you know the kinds of requirements that there are in order for SOAP to be able to endorse or support your publication or statement or ideas. We have many relationships with other societies. This year, Dr. Paleshi and Dr. Nixon and Dr. Meinhardt worked really hard and got another relationship with the PGA, which was a really great way to reach out to a very big society. And they were very welcoming to our members and to SOAP as an organization. They want our input and we want theirs. And so if you have ideas for other societies that may benefit from a relationship with SOAP, please reach out to us. We're more than happy to help you reach out to them. We also run the SOAP Speaks database as a database. If you need a speaker, they're vetted SOAP speakers who are interested in giving talks in their favorite subjects, who are experts. And so reach out to SOAP. This database is available to everyone to look through and see if there's a speaker who's right for you. We also do the grant review for the SOAP Kybeli grant. We're in the process of doing that already, and the winner of that will be announced at the SOAP meeting. And now I'm going to turn it over to the Center of Excellence Chair. It's a subcommittee of the Inter-Society Committee. Dr. Landau. Dr. Landau does all the grading and review, and it's a huge task. So
thank you, Dr. Bouchard.
of course.
So we are a big subcommittee. I think we're probably the largest one, and you'll see why. I want, first of all, to say that the 2024 application cycle was the 7th cycle for applications of the Centers of Excellence. And it was a very successful one, very busy one. We received 33 applications from around the world. And the subcommittee is composed from many members that are either very experienced or new. And we reviewed all the applications, and I'll show you on the next slides who are the recipients of the SOAP Centers of Excellence designation in a second. But I just wanted to remind everyone that behind the criteria and the elements that are picked out to be part of the metrics, the benchmarks, and the criteria that shape a center of excellence, there's a lot of thought. And actually over the years, the consensus statements that were just mentioned are a big component of what we look for in an application. So every time there's a new consensus statement, we actually update the criteria. So it is really a dynamic criteria, dynamic process, which is evidence-based. I also want to remind everyone that there is for the applicants that either apply or recertify, you will receive a consent form for participation into research, which could be either just sharing in a de-identified manner elements of information that you have provided in your application, or to either be yourself the PI on a research project, or to contribute to research with SOAP members who are interested in collaborating with SOAP Centers of Excellence. So very important for those who receive the designation not to forget to indicate whether they're willing to contribute to this very important component, which is new with Centers of Excellence. So there are two tiers of designation. This is to recognize that there are some centers that might be referring their patients and therefore might not have all the important key core elements that we expect academic referral tertiary centers to have. And so when we evaluate an application, we always ask the applicants to check the box to tell us what their institution is and what type of institution it is, large center, small center, and the designations go by that as well. So next slide, please. So this is the exciting part of it, and it will be announced again. We have 7 new centers that received the designation, which is a wonderful achievement for them. And as you can see, some of them are international, new applications, new designees, and we will congratulate them in person at the annual meeting. And some of them everywhere around the United States. So congratulations to all 7. I'm not going to read out their names, but congrats to all 7 of them. Next slide, please. We have the cycle, which renews every 4 years. We have the 2020 sort of logical reapplication cycle, and we have 13 that have received again the designation again from around the world. We're so excited to see the centers applying from around the world, and obviously centers from the United States. Next slide, please. And we have a few centers who took a gap year or a little hiatus for a variety of reasons. So 2019, we have 1 center, and 2018, we have 2 centers. And I want to say that some of these centers had to work really hard to qualify, to reapply, to receive their Centers of Excellence designation again, and we congratulate them wholeheartedly. Next slide. So just to remind everyone, we have now 114 institutions around the world. We're very, very grateful for them to have applied and sought the designation. Next slide. Next slide. And I want to thank everyone, the SOAP board and the current members. I'm not going to read everyone's names. You can see them. We are super actively working, not just on reviewing the applications, but also on improving the application, on making the criteria more relevant every year. And this year in particular, we're off cycle in terms of the applications, but we're meeting on a regular basis to really update the criteria to make it very relevant, and also to update the platform to make the application process more seamless and the review process as well. So thank you to everyone. Thank you to the founding members and to the staff that has been fantastic in supporting our efforts with this very important activity of SOAP.
Thank you, Dr. Landau, and congratulations to all of the Center of Excellence. It really is a gargantuan task to apply and win designation of a Center of Excellence. I want to thank my committee, Lisa Corbett, Nicole Durko, Ron George, Ruth Landau, Lisa Leffert, Grace Lim, and Caitlin Sutton. We are a very wise group, and so we're always looking to add some younger, enthusiastic members. So please apply to our Intersociety Committee. I think we'll be doing great things in the future.
Thanks so much, Dr. Beauchat. Hi, I'm Meg Rosenstein. I am the Member Value Chair. I am new to this role this year and so excited to share with you what Member Value has been up to in the past year. First off, I don't know about all of you, but I can say throughout my career, I've had the privilege of some truly career-defining mentorship relationships. Coming out of Mentoring Academy, I'm so happy to announce we've had 18 new pairs of mentors and mentees who have, I'm sure benefited from, again, those pivotal relationships that help steer us, especially in our early career. This is the inaugural year for Mentoring Academy's Mentoring Excellence Award. I have to tell you, wow. The volume of nominations that came in that were really profoundly inspiring, just with tremendous letters of recommendation. I am so excited for this to be announced by Dr. Peralta at the annual meeting and to recognize our awardee. This past fall, we had a really successful SOAP Fundamentals led by Dr. Carlos Delgado. You will continue to find our SOAP newsletters, which have just tremendous pearls, both updates from committees as well as member submissions. Please, if you are interested in submitting, Dr. Fardelman is always open to your ideas, and just there's some incredible ways to connect within our newsletter. And speaking of connection, I'm so grateful for the work that Emily Sharp has done growing our special interest groups. We currently have 15 special interest groups. There is a place for everyone to engage in SOAP, and these groups are a wonderful opportunity to start. Next slide, please. So upcoming activities coming out of member value. In 2025, our SOAP fundamentals dates are set for the first and second week of September. We're excited to share that content with you. Please be on the lookout. Also brand new and coming out of Mentoring Academy, we have a professional development series. Really, really excited. This will be presented in 4 different sessions throughout the calendar year. You can choose to participate in one or all 4. So I am looking forward to sharing more interest with you as that program continues to develop. And finally, our member value commitment. It really is to growing membership through increased inclusivity. This means reducing barriers to engagement. That might mean, for example, more engagement online. If you are very tech savvy, if you're interested in more engagement in social media, please reach out. We do hope to be connecting with our members meaningfully, both in person, virtually, and through social media platforms. And also adding value in both our clinical and in our research domains. One of our goals in member value is to amplify the outstanding work that's being done by our clinical peer, or by our research peers rather, and be able to filter and share that message with our clinical peers, both in academics and in community practice, in support of fulfilling SOAP's mission of outstanding care for all women and their children. As Dr. Beauchamp mentioned, please be on the lookout at the annual meeting. There will be a member needs assessment pulse survey. It will be QR coded on many of our slides, and it will give you an opportunity to help steer where you'd like to see member value create additional programming, as well as which SOAP consensus statements you're interested in seeing developed. So please be on the lookout, and please, your response will help to steer our activities over the next year. Next, I'd like to give you a quick report on our membership status. You can see we had peak membership in 2022 of 2,081. This was our highest ever member volume. Below, you can see the different color-coded bands ranging active, associate, fellow, lifetime, medical student, resident, and retired. As of March 31st, we are just about 89% of what our peak membership was in 2022. There is still time in the 2025 calendar year to see this grow. You will notice some of the volume that is lost is particularly among our active and our associate members. Those are those royal blue and also those orange bands. Next slide, please. This just helps to highlight kind of inclusively of all of those membership categories, that 11% decrease after some relative stability 2022 through 2024. Again, there is time in 2025, so let's make sure that we are sharing the real value proposition of participation in this organization, both clinically from a research aspect and also career and professional development. Next slide. Looking specifically at SOAP's volume of active members, the peak for active members was actually a little later than that 2022. We peaked in 2023 with 1,302. We have some space to go to grow that number in 2025 back up to where we were. So again, this is part of what our committee will be working on, increasing the value of the SOAP membership to its active members and hoping to grow in both our academic research and in our clinical communities. Next slide. Perfect, thank you. And this shows our associate members. We are down a bit from 2024 into 2025, about 35 of our associate members. There's opportunities for us, particularly in the community setting, which Dr. Paleshi and I will be looking at, how we can engage these members as well. So excited to report out more growth to you next year. And finally, member value, is really here to support you, and we couldn't even begin to do that without the incredible support and partnership of our member value committee. Raina Clay, Carlos Delgado, Kristen Fartelman, Fese Peralta, Emily Sharp, Michelle Simon, and not listed here, but equally as important, Christine Schlinger from AMR. We really could not accomplish half of what we do without the incredible support from AMR. If you are interested in becoming a member of Member Value, if you're interested in participating, there are many ways, large and small, particularly those of you, again, who are tech savvy and into social media, please reach out. We would love to partner with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Rosenstein. My name is Ashraf Habib. I'm the chair of the research committee, and I'm excited to share with you what the research committee has been up to advance the research mission of SOAP. So over the last year, we have initiated a new process for survey requests. This new process has been led by Dr. Anton Chow, who really designed this new process to help provide guidance on survey methodology, how to better define the target population, how to address issues with internal and external validity of the surveys. The first cycle was in September of last year. Currently, we have two submission deadlines, one in September and one in March. And actually, we have seen that with this new process, the quality of submitted surveys have been significantly better. So you can look at the website and to see all the details of this new process. The Research Network Subcommittee, led by Dr. Ron George, has been very busy. And one of the highlights of the products from this subcommittee is the research symposium that is done twice a year at the ASA meeting and at the SOAP annual meeting. This symposium is designed to foster collaboration and mentorship among researchers at all stages of their careers. Folks who have their proposal accepted, presented to a panel of experts who provide input to further refine the research and improve it. And every year at the symposium, we have a keynote speaker. And I'm excited to share that at this year's meeting, at the upcoming meeting at Portland, we have Dr. Michael Aziz, who is going to talk about large data and specifically about the MPOG database. And so if you're interested in large database studies or using MPOG for research, I highly recommend that you join us for the research symposium. One of the products of the Research Network Subcommittee has been the GA Registry. This project has been led by Dr. Sharon Riali and Dr. Lisa Leffert, and I'm happy to report that this project is now 14 months old. It started in February of last year. We have 35 participating sites of different geographic location and practice type. And so far, we have over 1,700 cases logged that would provide useful information about factors associated with GA for cesarean delivery and outcomes of those patients. The SOAP Journal Club has been a product of the Research Promotion Subcommittee led by Dr. Vizela Kovasheva. And as of last year, this journal, SOAP Journal Club, has been focused on Journal Club Classic. So basically highlighting landmark papers in obstetric anesthesia and inviting the authors of those articles to discuss them. They are produced every quarter and have been very successful, and some of the leaders of our field have participated in those journal clubs, such as Drs. Wong, Eisnack, and Dr. Peck. Another product of the Research Promotion Subcommittee has been the Research Highlights, which highlight recently published articles which are narrated by the authors of those articles, and this is produced in conjunction with the Education Committee. We are planning to continue producing the Journal Club, the Research Highlights, the Research Symposium. The Research Network is also looking at how to initiate a prospective multi-center project using the existing structure of the network. And also the grants subcommittee led by Dr. Grace Lim. As we all know, this subcommittee has initiated the SOAP Fair, MRTG, and now we are in the second cycle of the SOAP Fair MRTG. The subcommittee has been busy in encouraging applications, recruiting expert reviewers with the aim of reviewing these highly competitive applications and choosing the one that in order to help advances in our field. Another product of the research committee is the workshops that we produce at every annual meeting, and this year we will have a workshop on how to be a great peer reviewer. Next slide, please. And I would like to thank all the members of the steering committee of the research committee, Dr. Ron George, who was the vice chair, Dr. Anton Chow, Dr. Grace Lim, Dr. Arvind Parinisamy, Pervez Sultan, Carolyn Winiger, and Dr. Cynthia Wong. And I also want to thank the subcommittees for their hard work. The abstract review subcommittee is led by Dr. Ruthie Landau, and she has been working so diligently and so hard over the last few years in reviewing the abstract of the submitted for the annual meeting and improving the process for reviewing those abstracts. So I would like to thank her and to thank Dr. Michaela Farber, who will be taking over this subcommittee, and all the members of this subcommittee as well. The grants subcommittee is led by Dr. Grace Lim, the research network led by Dr. Ron George, and the research promotion subcommittee is led by Dr. Vizela Kovasheva. And I also like to extend my sincere thanks to Seneca and Christina for their incredible support for our subcommittee and for me over the last 3 years that I shared this committee. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Habib. So good evening, everyone. I'm Pervez Sultan. I'm a Director of Academic Practice, and I'm very excited to share with you some of the updates from the past year. So in the past year, we've continued to strengthen SOAP's academic presence, and in doing so, we're fostering collaboration across national and international platforms. One of the major highlights is our continued representation at key partnering society meetings. So we're very proud to be working closely with our colleagues at the International Anesthesia Research Society, the Society of Critical Care Anesthesiologists, the American Society of Regional Anesthesia and Pain Medicine, and the Society of Maternal Fetal Medicine as well. And this is to ensure that obstetric anesthesia remains at the forefront of academic and clinical innovation. A centerpiece of this collaboration and a good example is the recently published consensus statement on optimizing peripartum pain management for pregnant patients with opioid use disorder. If you've not read it, it's definitely worth a look. It's recently been published in the American Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology. This was a vital project led by some of the people on this Zoom call. Apologies if I miss anyone, but it was led by Doctors Lim, Dr. George, Landau, Brian Bateman, and several others as well. So congratulations to all the co-authors on this excellent piece of work. And this is just one example of how, a unified effort between SOAP and ASRA and SMFM can go a long way to addressing a very complex and challenging and vulnerable set of patients that we care for. And I think this work reached its goal of providing clear and evidence-based multidisciplinary guidance to improve outcomes for this patient population. So looking ahead, SOAP will also be represented at the upcoming Obstetric Anaesthetists Association meeting in the UK by our very own president, Heather Nixon, who will be presenting a team-based approach on intraoperative pain management during caesarean delivery, a very hot topic at the moment. And this will continue to foster collaboration and transatlantic exchange of knowledge and best practices. So these initiatives reinforce our commitment to global academic engagement while elevating the field of obstetric anaesthesia worldwide. So thank you to you all for your dedicated membership who continue to make these initiatives possible. And if anyone has any other suggestions or contacts for collaboration, please reach out to me or the Inter-Society Committee. We're really excited to see what lies ahead. Thank you so much.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Greg Paleshi. I am one of the directors from community practice. And, I wanted to say just a few words, and then I'll turn it over to my colleague, Dr. Rosenstein, about bullet number 3 down there, that MOU, which we've referred to already, but I did want to highlight the importance of that, particularly from the perspective of community practice. So the PGA, for those who don't know, the PGA is the Postgraduate Assembly. It is the annual meeting of the New York State Society of Anesthesiologists, which is the second largest gathering of anesthesia providers, second only to the ASA. And what's unique about that meeting is that it has a large footprint of community practitioners. And so this is a very exciting opportunity for SOAP and for me as a community provider, because we are getting in front of what really is a new audience for us. And I think that there's a few opportunities there, one of which being we may increase our footprint amongst private practitioners and community practitioners who become inspired by seeing us. Certainly, this is part of our mission to spread best practice. It also goes a little bit to socialize the SOAP brand, as SOAP being the authoritative voice for obstetric anesthesia. So I'm very, very excited, and I did want to say a few words about this because I do think it's a significant step forward. Very briefly, what will be happening in December? That's when the PGA is held every December in New York City. So if you're interested, it's around Christmas time. So we are going to be co-branding 3 talks. These are all very clinically oriented talks given by leadership from SOAP. One deals with post-dural puncture headache. One is pain during cesarean delivery. And the other one is very exciting. It is an open forum and engage with the experts. And I think that, again, this is going to give SOAP a unique opportunity to engage with community providers. So I'm very excited. We laid a lot of groundwork in 2024 and excited to see how it all turns out in 2025.
Thanks so much. I'm so excited to be able to join Greg in this role. He's already done incredible work, and I think the numbers that you'll see in front of you are are a testament to that. If you take a look at our 2024-2025 activities and initiatives, you'll see lined out some of our engagement from our community practices. SOAP has seen a sustained increase in the volume of members who are identifying as from a community practice. Again, that 2025 number slightly behind 2024. This is as of March 31st. We still have time to go. And sustained increase in our attendees at the annual meeting. In 2024, 98 attendees compared to 2023, 99. I'm looking forward to connecting with these attendees at our current meeting and reporting back further on that information. And very excited about the opportunities surrounding the PGA. Outstanding work done. And I'm really excited to connect with our New York members and potential members. Dr. Pileshi, do you want to speak to this?
I do. So, very briefly, the Soap Swag, the store here has been around for about a couple of years now. It is, high quality stuff. It is made by Lands, and it is, made to order. And so a couple of things about this, when you buy, the things that are listed here, there is a percentage that goes back to soap, right? So there is the benefit there. And it is a way of, again, socializing our brand. And so there will be samples at the annual meeting. I encourage everybody to take a look. Again, it is high quality, materials. So check it out. And yeah, we'll see you in Portland.
Good evening, colleagues and friends. I'm Ron George, and it'll be a profound honor to step into the role of president of SOAP. I want to begin by thanking those who came before me, especially our current president, Dr. Heather Nixon. Just like her, the previous presidents of SOAP's vision, passion, and persistence have shaped SOAP into a global home for innovation and advocacy in obstetric anesthesia. None of this, of course, is possible, however, without our current board members, thank you, and all of those that served before them. As we look forward, our strategic goals are clear. First, we have to have sustainable support for knowledge creation within obstetric anesthesia. Knowledge creation involves generating new insights that advance our understanding and improve healthcare delivery. This includes research, which builds generalizable evidence. It includes innovation, which introduces novel ideas and technologies and uses these tools to put the evidence in the hands of our members. Knowledge creation also encompasses the development of standards and clinical guidelines that translate evidence into practice. Collectively, these activities ensure that the care is evidence-based, effective, and continuously evolving. Second, as has already been said this evening, our committees must continue to reflect and respond to our membership. This means fostering inclusive participation and creating a space for diverse voices and lived experiences across geography, career stage, identity, and profession. Every SOAP member should see a path to leadership and a society shaped by their input. And third, we must continue to elevate knowledge dissemination, not just through meetings, but through curated digital content, hybrid education, and partnerships, as the one mentioned by Dr. Pileshi, that enhance our reach and potentially our revenue. We will meet our members where they are and with content that is relevant, profitable, and clinically meaningful. These goals are grounded in the values of SOAP, and I'm excited to work alongside each of you to build a future where every birth is safer and every provider is supported. Thank you for your trust, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you in Portland. I thought this was, sorry, didn't know this slide was going to be mine, but I'll take a chance to introduce. Oh, I see Heather coming back.
I was just popping up if you weren't going to do it, but please go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead. It's your distinct duty and pleasure.
No,
Pleasure with
absolutely. We both want to welcome
I
our
know.
new board members because we will serve with them as well. So Dr. Van Nathan has agreed to serve another term and has been appointed by the board. Dr. Allison Lee has agreed to serve another term and has been appointed by the board. And then Dr. Jill Meyer will be replacing Dr. Ashraf Habib as the research chair this year. And so we welcome them all. We're really looking forward to working with them and continuing the great ideas they already have. Next slide. Just as a reminder, we do have the election of the vice president coming up. This is through May 2nd, so it will be into the meeting itself. Please be sure to go online and cast your vote. You can also do that at the annual meeting with QRS codes if necessary. But you can look at videos from both of these great candidates. We're very excited about this election, and we want to hear what what they have to say. Next slide. All right, and this is just a list of the board of directors for 25-26. This is the upcoming cast of characters, so to say. And they will be at the annual meeting. When we have our award ceremony, we will also have a session where each of the committee members will get to meet with the membership, tell them about what we do, get people interested, network. And so this is a real opportunity for anyone who's always wanted to join a committee, but maybe doesn't know what each one does, to really come and to talk to the members of that committee and see how they might fit in or integrate into the work that we do. And then if there's any other questions, we would love to entertain that. You could also put any questions in the chat if you don't want to speak up. All right, if we don't have any questions from our audience, which means we've done a really good job explaining things and that our committee chairs have really been amazing presenters this evening, then we'll go ahead and conclude this year's annual business meeting, and we look forward to seeing you in Portland. Thank you and good night.
Thanks, everyone. See you in Portland.